There was a time when someone waited for me at home. Now, no one calls my name anymore. No voice, no footsteps, only silence and memories that never really leave. I did not choose to live alone, but somehow, life brought me here.
Far above the cities, beyond the sound of traffic and hurried lives, there was a small wooden cabin resting quietly on the side of a mountain. Few people knew it existed. Even fewer had ever seen it. The narrow path leading to it was barely visible during summer and completely hidden under thick snow during winter. The world below moved quickly, chasing deadlines, chasing money, chasing things that seemed important. But here, high in the mountains, time moved differently. Slowly, quietly, gently. The old man who lived there had not always been alone. There was a time when he lived surrounded by noise, surrounded by people, surrounded by responsibilities that filled every hour of his life. He had once worn iron shirts. He had once answered ringing phones. He had once rushed through crowded streets. But that life felt very far away now. Up here, above the clouds, he needed very little. His name was Elias. His hands were rough, shaped by years of cutting wood, fixing fences, and tending soil. His face carried the quiet lines of time, not harsh, but calm. Every wrinkle told a story of something endured, something learned, something accepted. He did not live completely alone. A large dog with thick golden-brown fur moved faithfully beside him every day. The dog's name was Runa. She was no longer young. Her steps were slower now, her muzzle lightly silvered with age. But her eyes were bright, always attentive, always understanding. Every morning began before sunrise. The sky slowly turned from deep blue to soft pale gold. Cold mountain air entered the cabin through small gaps between the wooden walls. Elias rose quietly from his bed. The wooden floor creaked softly beneath his weight. Before doing anything else, he looked down. Runa was already awake, always awake before him, always waiting. Her tail moved slowly against the floor as their eyes met. No words were needed. Outside, the air smelled clean, untouched, the kind of air that felt almost sacred. Mist floated gently between the mountains. The world felt wide, open, endless. Elias filled a metal bucket with fresh water from the small spring behind the cabin. The water was always cold, even during summer. Pure mountain water, untouched by pipes or machines. Nearby stood a small wooden fence where two goats waited patiently. They recognized the sound of his footsteps. They knew the rhythm of morning. Milk would become cheese. Cheese would become food for the winter. Behind the cabin, a small patch of land held rows of vegetables. Potatoes, carrots, cabbage, onions. Nothing fancy, just enough. Enough had become Elias' favorite word. Enough wood, enough food, enough silence, enough peace. Runa followed him everywhere. She watched as he worked, sometimes sitting quietly beside him, sometimes walking ahead as if checking the path, sometimes lying in the sunlight, eyes half closed. They did not hurry. Nothing here required rushing. In the afternoon, Elias chopped wood beside the cabin. The sound of the axe striking wood echoed softly through the valley. Birds occasionally crossed the open sky. Clouds moved slowly over distant peaks. The world felt large yet simple. One winter arrived earlier than expected. The first snow came silently during the night. By morning, the mountains were white, beautiful, but unforgiving. Snow meant preparation. Snow meant survival. Elias stored wood carefully, checked the fences, insulated small openings in the cabin walls. Winter in the mountains was not cruel, but it demanded respect. One evening, while carrying firewood inside, Elias slipped on ice hidden beneath fresh snow. The fall was sudden, hard. His leg struck the stone path painfully. For several moments, he could not move. The cold began to settle quickly into his bones. Runa reacted instantly. Her ears lifted sharply, her body tense. She nudged his arm gently, whined softly. Elias tried to stand. Pain shot through his leg, sharp, unsteady. The cabin was only a few steps away, but each step felt longer than usual. Runa did not leave his side. She walked slowly beside him, matching every uneven movement, waiting whenever he needed to stop. Inside, Elias sat heavily near the fireplace, breathing carefully. The pain was not life-threatening, but it reminded him of something unavoidable. He was growing older. Strength did not remain forever. Outside, snow continued to fall, thick, silent, endless. For 3 days, the storm did not stop. The world disappeared beneath white silence. Paths vanished. The mountains became distant shadows. Inside the cabin, firelight flickered warmly across wooden walls. Runa slept close to the fire, occasionally lifting her head to check on him. Elias spoke softly to her that night, not because she needed words, but because he did. "I once thought I needed many things," he said quietly. "A busy life, important work, many voices around me." Runa listened, still, calm. "I thought silence would feel empty." The wind brushed softly against the cabin walls. But silence can also feel full. The storm passed slowly. Sunlight returned. Snow reflected light so brightly it almost hurt the eyes. Elias stepped carefully outside, leaning slightly on a wooden stick he had carved long ago. Runa walked ahead, leaving small paw prints in fresh snow. The world looked untouched, pure, simple, peaceful. That evening, Elias prepared a warm meal from what the mountain had given him. Vegetable soup, fresh bread, goat cheese. Runa rested quietly beside the table. The fire crackled softly. Wind whispered gently outside. Loneliness was not the right word for what he felt. He was not waiting for the past to return. He was not hiding from the world. He had simply chosen something different. A smaller world, but a deeper one. One where each sunrise mattered. Each quiet moment mattered. Each loyal presence mattered. Before sleep, Elias opened the wooden door briefly. Cold night air entered the cabin. Above him, countless stars filled the sky, more stars than could ever be seen in the city. Runa stood beside him, both of them looking upward, two quiet souls above the clouds, not escaping life, but living it slowly, fully, together.